Hey Jonas, good to see you here. But I'm actually wondering, while I'm seeing friends from the aviation industry, I always thought material.one is actually based in automotive. So, I mean, you're very welcome to be here, but what the heck are you doing here?
As you say, meeting you and having a nice dinner later on. But earlier this year, I was at another event. It was called Automotive Masterminds. And I've got invited here with the pickup line like, experts meeting experts, experts from aviation meeting experts from automotive for exchange. And I strongly believe that sharing information and sharing experiences on maybe the same kind of obstacles or the same kind of challenges we have will help, will broaden the view of everything. So question for me is, maybe my view contributes to your view, and so what's the big ones on challenges here at the aviation industry?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it throughout the day, and we heard about this in the earlier tech talks as well. There's a really, aviation has a very highly complex and interdependent industry, like supply chain, and where 80% of the value from an aircraft is actually sourced from external. We have more than 10,000 suppliers in the aviation industry and millions of parts going into an aircraft. So you can kind of imagine how fragile such a supply chain is for anything disruptive and challenges like demand outstripping currently the capacity additions we are capable of adding, labor shortages, and maybe also like political challenges. As an example, like you have to source your material from elsewhere at the moment because certain countries had gotten aggressive. And so you need to run through a very time-consuming material release program again. And so we heard it all over, that end-to-end transparency and traceability is something very significant in the supply chain for aviation. So, but I guess, is that any different in automotive, and how are you tackling those challenges?
Well, I would say we have a big overlap here because our experience is almost the same. Having this kind of situation that also the automotive industry is just tackling the same, that the most parts are coming out of the supply chain and the evidence or the information is coming from the fragile supply chain, is that the requirements are coming from the OEMs and the evidence is coming from the complete supply chain. This is the challenge that we help solving, and the good thing is that, or one thing I've learned here now is that digitizing this kind of process is moving on from paper to PDF documents, and from PDF documents maybe to some smarter solutions. And this is where we step in. So we help the OEMs by providing their digital standards, their requirements, bring them to some tier 1 suppliers. They set up their test plans and the evidence that has to be fulfilled, and they push it downstream to their suppliers. And that is where we help out, and this is where we believe that also other things, not only like material release processes, other topics like ESG or European Supply Chain Act and stuff like that can be handled risk-free, can be handled compliant, can be handled very easy and smoothly if you have a central platform solution for that.
Okay, just to summarize what you were saying also, because the slides were kind of lagging for us, so it really sounds as if the platform can be used for different challenges in the supply chain, especially when it comes to compliance and regulations or compliance with regulations, right? But tell me, who are your current customers in the automotive? Is that already in place somewhere, or what are the use cases you're solving?
Yes, the use cases we solve is, for example, with Mercedes-Benz, we are in the ramp-up phase in boarding on 1,100 suppliers, tier 1 suppliers, and the topic in that use case is they call it digital PPAP, the first part approval process. I would say it's similar to the first part inspection or the first article inspection and the reporting of that. Same with the Volkswagen Group. It's also the same. There, the start-up or the ramp-up phase begins in January, and the end of the journey will be that at the end it will be 100,000 first article inspections will run through the platform, and provided by the supply chain. Cool thing there, it's more or less not only the first article inspection, we also have a use case there where we talk about sustainability KPIs. And there it is more or less like it's about recyclables and how high is the amount on recyclables on each component coming into a car to reach the CO2 goals, and that is a cool thing to be part of. With BMW, we're in a research project together with ThyssenKrupp. Also pretty cool because it also is paying off on that circular economy thing, because it is about future sustainable car materials. To break it down, how much old car is in a new car? And all related parties from governance side, from OEM, over compounder, recyclers, and so on, are delivering and receiving data through our platform.
Yeah, we are still struggling with this.
Forget about the slides.
Forget about the slides.
Welcome to the show.
Well, that's life, right? It's the way it is. Anyway, yeah.
So other use cases, are also provided by our platform. They are showed up on here now. Hopefully you could see them. And as already said, it's first article inspection and the reporting about that, following different kinds of standards. Doesn't mind if it's automotive or it's aviation industries and so on. This is the story behind the platform and its use cases.
So as far as I know, and that's we heard throughout the day, there are a couple of tools and platforms already rolled out kind of in the aviation industry. However, there's a big challenge that it's not super widely spread into especially the depth of the supply chain, going down to tier like 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. And I think the main reason for that is that in particular the small and medium-sized companies find those type of tools and platforms too heavy, too expensive, too OEM-centric maybe, because, the more information you give, the more, you can be squeezed. And some of them actually don't even have an ERP system, so where the heck to connect to? And not to talk about they don't even have like SAP. This is something like totally out of scope for them. And so the long story short is the digital continuity is completely missing throughout the entire supply chain, what we see. So is that similar in automotive, and how do you handle this? And apart, we need to talk about the money. So who's paying for a material.one platform?
Yeah. Two things. The one thing is the tool. The other thing is the business case. And if we talk about the tool, it's more or less like bringing all the party, bringing the party to the people, bringing the people to the party. And in our case, if we talk about the automotive industry, it's yes, we have the OEM, we have the manufacturers, and they have to provide their data. The data is, in their case, we have the requirements, we have the standards, we have the bill of materials, and we have the CAD files, for example. Out of that, the supply chain has to bring the evidence regarding the requirements. And that is where the platform provides a very easy way, by push of a button, to generate test plans that can be distributed downstream in each business relation, to bring that evidence that the OEM is requesting. So with that, even a test lab can be ordered, with bring me that test, and this is the closed loop where everybody is at the table and everybody is providing data. At the end, we want to have information, because information is data with context, and everybody is delivering its context to the data that is provided. And now, regarding the second question, who's paying for the party? If we have a look at the business case, it is so important that not only the costs have to be shared, also the value has to be shared. We saw the single steps, and here you see a study, that in the complete process, in each single step, we improve the effort over 50%. So the question is, everybody's saving time, everybody's saving money. Who's paying for it? There are two business models. The one business model is that the OEM is taking the cost for his supply chain. Second business model is the costs are shared between supplier, tier 1, and OEM, and all the other tiers are benefiting out of the value that is coming out of the complete process.
Perfect. That sounds to me absolutely interesting and relevant for the aviation industry as well, not only for automotive. And so just in case some members here of the audience would be interested to get in touch with you and the team we brought,
Yes.
Where can we find you?
You can find us. We have an awesome team of 7 people here. Meet us at the conference, at the dinner later on. Meet us also in the business meeting area or in the networking areas. We're open for collaboration and for knowledge transfer and exchange. We're happy to hear you or see you and get in touch with you guys.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for this inspiring talk. Thanks a lot.